Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over one of the best drafts that includes both Salah and Haaland for Game Week 1. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment. Are you trying to get these two premium options into your Game Week 1 squad? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, in goal we have gone with Pickford, but this could be any 4.5 mil keeper. Flecken is also a really good option as well. Again, it is completely up to you. I just put this draft together and just chose Pickford just simply because these fixtures are pretty okay. Under Sean Dice, they should be a lot better at the back. But yeah, it honestly doesn't matter. It's whichever player that you're thinking of going with for that 4.5 mil option. So there's not really too much more to talk about for the goalkeeper, really. Let's get into the rest of the draft. So at the back, we have Estepinian, we've got Gabriel, and we've got Chilwell. So obviously there's no United defense in this draft. Again, instead of Chilwell, you could go Luke Shaw if you really wanted to. But I just don't think that United's fixtures are that good from a defensive standpoint. Obviously, they've got a better first fixture against Wolves at home instead of Chilwell, who's got Liverpool at home. But, I mean, Chelsea and Liverpool games are notoriously not boring, but they do get a few 0-0s every now and again. So it very well could just be a 0-0 at the start of the season as well. There's usually not that many goals scored, especially in these big games as well, where nobody's going to want to drop points. So yeah, I think that Chilwell or Shaw, both really good options. I just think after the initial game against Liverpool, Chilwell's fixture is just so good. You know, they've got West Ham, Luton, Forest, Bournemouth, Villa, Fulham, Burnley before they take on Arsenal. So a lot of fixtures you could see them getting a clean sheet. Again, Chilwell's injury record isn't fantastic, but at the same time, I do like him as an option. And yeah, Shaw, again, also a really good option, but does have some tough fixtures. You could arguably get both of them in by dropping Gabriel and like dropping a different player, which we'll get into later on in the video. But as of right now, I think that, you know, Chilwell or Shaw is completely up to you. And then we've also got Gabriel and Estepinian as well. Estepinian, Gabriel, they're in most drafts, if not all of the ones that you see on YouTube, because they're just both really good options. Don't really need to talk about them too much more. Let's get into the midfield. We have Salah, obviously. We have Martinelli. We've got Saka, Eze, and Bruno Fernandes. Now, originally this draft, when I made it, we did have Mbeumo in this draft because this draft would have had 6 penalty takers, but unfortunately Mbeumo did go off injured. He did pick up an injury. We don't know the extent of that yet, so that is obviously a penalty taker out of a lot of drafts, and Mbeumo is in a lot of drafts as well. So I think Eze and Mitoma are going to be skyrocketing in the picks for most teams with that Mbeumo injury, which is a very unfortunate. Again, we've been picking up quite a few injuries lately. Mbeumo, Jesus, and Nkunku's had one. So all of these like big major picks that you've been seeing in all of the drafts, unfortunately just aren't options anymore. I mean, Jesus is not going to be back for weeks. We don't know. I've not really seen any updates on the Nkunku injury. Again, Mbeumo is very recent, so we're still waiting for updates on that. So yeah, it's just really unfortunate that all of these big draft players are getting injured. But at the same time, it just mixes everything up because now it's not super template. But yeah, we've gone Salah, as I say, in this draft. Chelsea away, a tough fixture, especially if you're going to be playing them against Chilwell on the first game week. It's not great, but you're really targeting that second game week fixture where he does have Bournemouth. Is it a home or away? It's at home. So Bournemouth at home is a very nice fixture. But yeah, he is then away to Newcastle, so not great. Chelsea and then Newcastle in the first 3 game weeks. But you know, after that they've got Villa, which again also quite tough. But then Wolves, West Ham. You know, he's just he's the Egyptian king. He's the king of FPL. He's a nice player to have in your squad 100%. But yeah, obviously Salah, Haaland draft, so Salah's got to be in it. We've got Martinelli as well over Ødegaard. Again, you could fit Ødegaard into this draft. We'll go over why in a minute. But yeah, Martinelli makes this draft. He did play quite well in the Community Shield on Sunday, but yeah, if you do want to go with him over Ødegaard, this is obviously an option. Saka, another penalty kick taker, really good player, was quite lively in the Community Shield game as well. Did set up quite a few chances, but unfortunately Havertz could not put any of them away. And already spoken about Eze, just filling in for Mbeumo. Again, if you do want to go with this draft, and Mbeumo is back by game week 1, because again, he is going to be such a key player with Tony out, especially because he's obviously the penalty kick taker as well. Then, you know, you could arguably go for him as well, but again, we'll have to wait and see. And then Bruno Fernandes, another penalty taker. There's no Rashford in this draft. In fact, there's only one United player in this draft, which is quite interesting because United's picks are I guess, being picked quite a bit recently, but you've got the penalty taker. Bruno Fernandes should be getting quite a few more assists now this season, and hopefully can get a couple of pens as well. But yeah, that's the midfield. I do really like the midfield. It looks very, very strong. And again, you look at this draft, and then you're like, we've still got Haaland to go. How are you fitting them all in? Well, this is how we're fitting them all in. We're going on to the forwards now. So obviously, Haaland is also in this draft. I've also gone for João Pedro, the new Brighton striker. Now, there's a couple of reasons why we've gone for him. So number one, he is the new penalty kick taker, or he looks like he's going to be the new penalty taker. They did get one. The Estepinian won as well. So Pedro didn't even win the penalty. And both the, like Gross and who else? There's another like penalty taker for Brighton. They were both on the pitch, and Pedro still took the penalty. Now, there is obviously a question mark over his minutes, but if he is going to be the main penalty taker, then you'd like to think that his minutes are going to be pretty up there, especially, like I say, if he's taking a penalty over the other two penalty takers that we've always seen Brighton take the penalties for Brighton. So that's why I think Pedro is a decent option. And again, penalty taker there, Haaland's a penalty taker, Bruno's a penalty taker, Saka's a penalty taker, and then also Salah's a penalty taker. So 5 takers of the spot kicks in this draft. Again, would be 6th with Mbuemo, so obviously that's already very, very nice. And then the back line, well, the sub, should I say, Areola. We've gone Baldock as well, who is another 4 mil defender, but again, should be picking up quite a few minutes. Kabore as well, another 4 mil defender, who again, looks to be first choice in that Luton side. And then we've also gone Mubama as well, who again, isn't going to be first choice at all, but is only 4.5. Moyes has spoken very highly about him. He's got a few goals pre-season, and I think he will get like 20 minutes here or there most games. But again, he can just be at the back of your subs bench. Worst comes to worst, and for whatever reason, Baldock and Kabore doesn't play, you've got a good chance of him at least making an appearance point. So again, it all comes down to those points at the end of the season. I lost my mini league last year by 2 points, so those appearance points are definitely very, very useful. So yeah, that's the draft going into game week 1. Of course, there are a few different changes you could make. Again, you could go Shaw over Chilwell. But another thing you could do, and we'll probably speak about this in a future video, because I'll be making this isn't my current draft, by the way. I've just put this together for like a Salah Haaland draft. And I'm not 100% sure if I'd go with it personally, but again, it's quite a nice draft. So what I would do is, instead of Pickford, I would go with Turner. Now, Turner is a 4 mil keeper who currently plays for Arsenal, but it looks like he is going to be signing for Forest. I think he's just got his medical now or something like that. So if that is the case, which again, very, very likely to happen at this point, then that's another 4 mil keeper you've got there. So you've got Turner and Areola, 2 4 mil keepers that both arguably could play as well. Like Turner, as a Forest fan, Turner will be our number 1. Like, we need a goalkeeper. There is Henderson that's still kind of a little bit in the dark on what's happening there. We are still trying to get that loan move sorted out, but again, if that doesn't happen, we do have Matt Turner. Again, if Henderson signs, obviously on loan, then he will be our number 1. If we don't get him, Turner will be our number 1, and again, he's 4 mil. So that gives you an extra 0.5 mil in the bank. So that's why, if you wanted to, you could upgrade a Martinelli to an Ødegaard. You could upgrade a Baldock or something to a 4.5 mil defender, like Pau Torres, or a Newcastle defender or something like that. You could also upgrade Pedro to a 6 mil striker, but I don't think there's that many decent options. You could also go from Bruno to Rashford if you wanted to. There's a lot of options you could really go with that extra 0.5 mil. Again, like I say, as a Forest fan, Turner will be our number 1. Like, our keeper option is just absolutely terrible right now, and so yeah, he will be our new number 1. But again, if Henderson gets brought in as well on loan, he will then be our number 1. But as of right now, Turner looks to be a sure signing. Again, I think it's in the very final stages of that signing. It'll probably be announced either today or tomorrow or throughout the week. Definitely before the game week 1, and you'd like to think. But yeah, with that 0.5, you could really do anything. But that's kind of what the draft looks like right now. It's got Salah and Haaland, but it's quite a strong draft as well. I do really like it. And again, you can really make a few changes for yourself as well if you wanted to. Like I say, you could go Shaw over Chilwell with extra 0.5. You could really do what you want. But yeah, I do like this draft. And again, it does get the Egyptian King in it, and it does get Haaland in. So yeah, that's going to be everything for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, please do drop a like down below. I'll probably go over my updated draft in tomorrow's video, because obviously the Premier League is back very, very soon. So yeah, I need to kind of tighten up that first game week 1 draft and go with it. But yeah, if you do want Salah and Haaland, this is a good draft you could follow. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment. Has this kind of swayed you a little bit more towards a Salah Haaland draft? Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. Thank you so much for 7,000 subs as well. You guys are incredible. But yeah, until next time, have a great rest of your day, and peace.